do you usually choose what city/niche? Do you look up this specific city of this certain level of population?
So we have a specific process that I teach, but for time's sake, you got to go into a city where it's low competition, meaning you could rank your website fairly easy if you wanted to. You have to go into a city that has low cost per click. What that means is if you go and pay for ads, it's not going to cost you a ton of money. And you also need to go into a city where there's high demand, because you can have all of those things, but if there's not high demand, you could be ranked number one on Google and be willing to spend $100 a day. There's not going to be any leads for you because there's not people looking for it. So it has to check all of those boxes. If you check all those boxes and it's the right niche, then that's the right city.
Gotcha. So we find a city, let's say I wanted a landscaping company to sell leads to. Okay. I look around, it looks like there's low competition, low cost per click, and there's a lot of fields in landscaping to be done. So let's say there's a high demand.
Yep.
I find a buyer and I say, hey, Joe's landscaping company, are you interested in this? And they say, yes, we are. What sort of kind of negotiation or promises do you make in order to close the sale?
So before we do that, there's actually 2 more steps that I teach people to do. Number 1 is you need to make sure there's people in that city that are willing to pay for leads. What I mean by that is, like, let's just use like Irvine, California. If you're trying to do Irvine landscaping, if you go and look on Google and some of these other tools and there's not businesses already paying for leads, I'm going to tell you to go to the next city. Here's why. If people are not convinced that if they spend money on marketing, it's going to make them money, then God help them. I'm not in the business of trying to convince somebody that advertising works. I'm only looking for people who already believe in advertising, and I just want to show them that my opportunity, my leads are a way better option than what they're paying for. So I have people in my program, they actually have to build a list of 5 to 10 people that are already sold on leads, already sold on buying leads before you even start calling. And I learned this when I used to do door-to-door sales. I used to sell home security, right? And in home security, I just realized, dude, if I start going down the street, I can start looking for the houses that already have home security. Dude, if they already have ADT, for example, why don't I just knock on the door? Because I already know they're paying for it. Now all I have to do is convince them that, hey, this is the same price. Look how much better this is. You get this, 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 and this for the same price. Same exact thing. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. Don't go and try and sell somebody who doesn't even believe in the internet. Go sell people who are already paying for other services and say, look, let's just have a conversation. So that's step 2. Step 3 is you need to go and get a handful of leads before you try and pitch the deal. And some people are going to go, well, how do you get leads if you don't even have a website? Good question. What I would tell you how to do is go to a web builder, Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, build a 1-page landing page, 1 page, homepage only. And there's certain elements this thing has to have. It needs to have a phone number, it needs to have a quote form, it needs to have these things that I've figured out. Then what we're going to do is go to Google and start paying for advertising and push traffic to that 1-pager. And I hope we're not losing anyone. It's very simple. A 1-page website, a landing page, traffic with Google, you're just going to push that landing page and you're going to start getting phone calls. And those phone calls, now you're going to call that list of business owners that's already sold. And instead of calling and saying,
hey, Kian, you want to buy my leads?
I'm calling you and saying, hey, Mr. Business Owner, I've got this job. It's a tree service job. Her name is Susan. She's got this 15-foot oak, this 30-foot oak tree. She lives over on XYZ Street. Can I hand it off to you? What's that guy going to say?
Of course.
And then he's going to go, who are you, bro? And I'm going to say, sorry, my name's Nick. The reason I'm calling you is I have a website and a phone number that's getting tree service jobs. I don't even do tree service. Can you take Susan? But by the way, I do want you to know, I'm not trying to like confuse you here. I'm looking for somebody to take these jobs on an ongoing basis. So let me give you Susan. And what if I give you 3 or 4 of these and we talk in a couple days about doing this on an ongoing basis? Would you be open to that? No strings attached. You just take a couple of these for free. What do you think about that? What do you think someone's going to say to that? Imagine somebody called me right now and said, hey, I can get you 4 people who need leads right now for my lead gen business, my digital real estate business. I got 4 people that want leads. I'm not even going to ask you for money until you go and talk to these people. I'm going to give them to you for free. I'd be stupid to say no.